Archive magazine is a new online publication that puts the focus on Israeli photojournalism. Every other month, the magazine presents the best news photography of the last few weeks and focuses on a different theme with every issue. Issue 3 will be out soon and will focus on Jerusalem. Very happy to have the Archive's co-editor, I24, in the studio to tell us all about it. Thank you for coming in.
Well, I'm glad to meet you. Thank you very much for having me here.
So tell me, how did this get started? Where was the idea born?
Well, like every good story, we sat in a pub, had a couple of pints, then decided that we should do something about it. We have this, well, the idea came out because there's no magazines or no local magazine or no local exhibitions that dealing with the daily documentary or the news photography besides the local testimony.
Right.
And we decided to make a collaboration between the international photographers and Israeli photographers in order to make a platform so that also young and promising and also the very well-known will be able to have a certain conversation on the pages of the magazine. As you can see here, photographs from the war, and also like we have different issues. The first magazine was dealing with the Gaza war, and the second one was dealing with religion. And in every issue we have different projects that we also, besides the competition.
Right. I can't recall any other magazine that deals with photojournalism in Israel. Is it just me, or do they not exist?
No, they're not existing. There's nothing besides
what
that.
are your models? Who are you following here?
We were trying to combine it from different things. First of all, it's the theme. And the competition kind of thing, which we have the model from Picture of the Year International, World Press, and the local testimony. Right. And then the usual part of having an interview with the person. So we having
an interview with
a photographer.
Just pictures.
It's not just pictures. Right. It's an interview with the person. That's in the last 3 issues.
A photographer.
We're using photographers, but in the future we'll be using also editors and maybe curators and.
Right. Now, you in your mission statement, you write that you're not really trying to compete with any news site or news organization. You're trying to be more introspective and retrospective. Does that mean you guys think that people and journalists have become too obsessed with the scoop and are just going through things too fast?
Well, might be, yeah. I mean, the news are running so fast. I mean, updates on everything, like the situation there was in Australia not long ago in the bank, in the coffee shop that was taking people taking pictures with the cell phones and uploading them, and there is no moment to stop and see the actual photograph. Also, the photographs that are being printed in the local or international magazines or newspapers today, they are too small and people not really looking at them as they can in our magazine. Yeah.
Now it's interesting. You mentioned cell phones. I don't think we can have this interview and not talk about cell phones, because I don't know the role. It's not the role, but the availability of the photographed image nowadays is unbelievable. Anyone has a decent camera right on them, and they can take pictures and send them off at that moment. Do you think the importance of the photojournalist is decreasing? If I'm a young, up-and-coming photographer, should I even consider going into photojournalism?
Well, of course, it's a matter. I mean, it's of course decreasing, and there's a huge problem in the perspective of photographers not being sent to different issues around the world, and people trying to get their budgets less and less on photography specifically. Right. But I think it's more of a passion. I mean, it's more of a hobby, kind of. You're making your life. I mean, it's a lifestyle. You want to do it, you love it, and there's no matter to it. Who are you working for? Who are you shooting for?
Right. It's just the problem that you have now. You're competing with so many people. It's just anyone is sort of a photojournalist.
Of course, but in the matter of cell phones, for example, we can talk also like back in the day, people were shooting with point-and-shoot cameras, one exposures. Very well-known photograph from a cover of a Time of Concorde exploding in France, taken by a Japanese tourist through the window.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
with a
It is,
disposable camera.
yeah,
So it's
yeah.
the same thing as using a cell phone today.
No question. What do you think happens to us, to the photographed image nowadays when we're so bombarded with these images? Do you think, what can we do to take the time and focus on an image?
Well, on the daily basis, there's nothing to do with it because everything is running so fast, and also your need of information is running too fast. I mean, you have the Twitter, you just press it and you go, and you see more and more and more updates of everything, and you want to see it quicker, quicker, quicker. So I think in this terms, the magazine is bringing some sort of stop, like highlighting an important images, interesting images, to see the quality of photography.
Yeah, well, the images we're seeing from the magazine are very impressive. Definitely deserve the time to sit down and take a look at it. One last question: how is this happening? How are you able to finance it? How are you able to even maybe make a buck or two off of it?
Well, it's this is not our intention. Our intention is to promote photography, and we're doing it as for fun, as our hobby for now. At least for now, we sending. Well, we have a sponsor for the competition itself that gives out a specific prize for the first part of the magazine. Wow. But in general, it's just two of us, me and Uri Lenz, that are working on it.
Right, and you guys are also photographers working in Israel, and Russia, and in the territories, everywhere. Thank you so much, Julia, for coming.
Thank you very much for having me.